As you know, I'm quite keen on comic books, especially the ones about superheroes. Take my favorite superhero, Superman.
Alright, let's talk about that Superman speech from Kill Bill. You know, the one where Bill says Clark Kent is Superman's critique of humanity. It's a super cool monologue. Don't get me wrong, but here's the thing. Everyone is missing the point. This isn't about Superman at all. It's about Bill. Yep, that speech is more about his ego and worldview, so it isn't about Superman. So today we're breaking down what Bill says, why he says it, and how it secretly reveals everything about him. Let's get into it. Imagine this, right? Bill is talking about Superman and he says,
Clark Kent is Superman's critique on the whole human race.
Clark Kent, the clumsy, shy reporter, is Superman's way of making fun of humans. But here's the thing, that's not really true. Superman isn't mocking us. Clark Kent is just the way Superman blends in and lives a normal life. It's his way of connecting with humanity. Now why does Bill think this? Because Bill is the kind of guy who's all about power and being the best. He can't understand why anyone amazing like Superman would ever choose to act ordinary. To Bill, the only explanation is that Superman must have been looking down on humanity. But really, this tells us more about Bill than about Superman. Bill sees Clark Kent as weak because Bill himself doesn't value humility or kindness. For him, being normal equals being as a loser. So he projects that into Superman. It's not about Superman's choices. It's about Bill's inability to see the beauty in being ordinary. Well, here's the thing about Bill. He's got a massive ego, like this guy sees himself as the ultimate badass, right? He's all about power, control, and being the top dog. So when he looks at Superman, he assumes Superman must think the same way he does. Now Superman chooses to live as Clark Kent, a normal awkward guy. But Bill can't wrap his head around why anyone so powerful would want to seem so ordinary. To Bill, power is everything, so the only way he explains it is by thinking, oh, Superman must be making fun of humans. But that's just Bill projecting his own mindset into Superman.
So, the point emerges.
Bill's so arrogant that he even can't imagine someone using their power for good without needing to show off. Superman's not mocking humanity. Bill just doesn't get humility because, let's face it, humility is not in his vocabulary. Alright, let's clear this up. Tarantino gets Superman. He's not clueless about the character, and he's definitely not dissing him with that monologue in Kill Bill. In fact, Tarantino is using that speech to show us something about Bill, not Superman. Here's the deal, in the Christopher Reeves movies, Superman's whole thing is that he's humble. He's this superpowered alien, but he chooses to live as Clark Kent because he loves humans and wants to be one of us. Tarantino understands that. He's seen those films probably more times than any of us. So why does Bill get it so wrong?
Now, a staple of the superhero mythology is there's the superhero and there's the alter ego. Batman is actually Bruce Wayne. Spider-Man is actually Peter Parker. When that character wakes up in the morning, he's Peter Parker. He has to put on a costume to become Spider-Man. And it is in that characteristic Superman stands alone. Superman didn't become Superman. Superman was born Superman. When Superman wakes up in the morning, he's Superman. His alter ego is Clark Kent. His outfit with the big red S, that's the blanket he was wrapped in as a baby when the Kents found him. Those are his clothes. What Kent wears, the glasses, the business suit, that's the costume. That's the costume Superman wears to blend in with us. Clark Kent is how Superman views us. And what are the characteristics of Clark Kent? He's weak. He's unsure of himself. He's a coward. Clark Kent is Superman's critique on the whole human race.
Because it's not Tarantino talking, it's Bill, and Bill's so arrogant and cynical about power, he can't understand why someone as amazing as Superman would want to blend in. That's the genius of this scene. It's not about Superman at all. It's about Bill. exposing his own flaws. Now here's the kicker. Bill's take on Superman, it sounds exactly something Lex Luthor would say. And if you know Lex, you know he's Superman's biggest hater. Think about it, Lex Luthor always sees Superman as this arrogant god who looks down on humanity. Why? Because that's how Lex sees himself. He's rich, powerful, and always trying to prove he's better than everybody else. So he assumes Superman must be doing the same thing. Now, Bill is in the same boat. He's this larger-than-life assassin who values power above everything. So when he sees Superman living as Clark Kent, he doesn't think, oh, that's humility on kindness. Nope. He jumps straight to Superman must be mocking humans, because that's exactly what he would do when he has that kind of power. Bill's critique of Superman isn't original, it's pure Lex Luthor's energy. And just like Lex, Bill's take says more about his own insecurities than it does about the Man of Steel. Superman is Clark Kent. He grew up on a farm with Ma and Pa Kent, learning kindness, humility, and hard work. If he lost his powers tomorrow, he'll still be Clark, because that is who he is. Sure, the glasses and the bumbling routine is a silly disguise to keep his secret safe, but Clark, it's not fake. It's just an extension of the guy he's always been. Now here's the genius part. Bill's wrong about Superman for the same reasons he's wrong about the Bride. He thinks people are defined by their most extraordinary traits, Superman by his powers and the Bride by her killer instinct. But both Superman and Beatrix are more than that. The Bride chooses to be a mother, because that's who she wants to be. And just like Superman would still be Clark Kent without his powers, she's still capable of functioning as a mom, despite her assassin past. Bill just can't see that because he's stuck in his own mindset.
You would have worn the costume of Arlene Plimpton, but you were born Beatrix Kiddo. And every morning when you woke up, you'd still be Beatrix Kiddo.
Are you calling me a superhero?
I'm calling you a killer. A natural-born killer. You always have been, and you always will be.
So yeah, Tarantino didn't mess up Superman here. He nailed it. He used Bill's misunderstanding to show us exactly what's wrong with Bill's worldview. And that's why this scene is so brilliant. So here's the bottom line. Bill's Superman speech is not about Superman, it's about Bill. That whole monologue is a window into how Bill sees the world. He's arrogant, power-hungry, and can't understand things like humility or kindness. So when he talks about Superman, he projects all his issue into one character. And the genius of Tarantino is, he's not saying Superman is a critique of humanity. He's showing us that Bill is too self-centered to get it. Superman chooses to live as Clark Kent because he values humanity. But Bill, he thinks that's a joke because he never do it. It's not Superman's flaw, it's Bill's. So next time someone says Tarantino doesn't get Superman, hit him with this. Tarantino gets Superman perfectly. It's Bill who doesn't.
You will give the people of Earth an ideal to strive towards. They will race behind you. They will stumble.